Rebuilding Iraq after 3 years of war with the Islamic State group will cost $88.2 billion. That's what Iraqi officials told a donors conference this Monday, adding that housing is a particularly urgent priority. The conference is being held in Kuwait over 3 days. Iraq declared victory over the Islamic State group in December. Joining me now, Miriam Ben-Rad, a political science professor at Leiden University. Hello, thank you very much for your time. Now, as I just mentioned there, $88.2 billion. That's what Iraqi officials are saying it'll cost to rebuild parts of Iraq. What exactly is that money needed for?
Well, this is a rough estimation, and this money is aimed principally for the reconstruction of the country, which is, by the way, not something new. It's been a priority for a number of players for some time, but it's become an emergency for the Iraqi government, especially following the military operations against Islamic State, which have devastated entire territories in the country, displaced thousands and thousands of people, and inflicted historical damage on cities like Mosul and others. So it's quite clear that the reconstruction part now is key, also to making sure that the jihadists don't re-emerge, as is the case already in some parts of Iraq.
Now, can Iraq realistically raise this much money if the US isn't contributing?
Well, it's very unsure. At the same time, the U.S., one can regret the absence of the U.S., but the American administration had announced a long time ago that it didn't plan on having extended civilian missions following its military re-engagement against Islamic State. So I'm not quite sure that Iraqi officials will manage. The other question being, what will the Iraqi government make with this money? As you know, Iraq is a country of high corruption, including among administrations, ministries, the political class as a whole, which has been a huge issue and which has hindered the reconstruction of the country for now more than a decade. So it's really also a question of political will and the will for reform, which should be a reform of the political class itself, which hasn't been able really to perform in terms of governance and bringing well-being to its people. So I don't think it's just a question, an international question, and it shouldn't be. It should also be an Iraqi matter. So the Iraqis will be tested also on this.
So concerns over whether the money that's needed actually goes where it's needed is one reason perhaps why some people won't be donating, or not very much. But also, is it fair to say that with everything that's going on in the world, there's a general donor fatigue?
Yeah, well, I would say so. Clearly, a general donor fatigue, a fatigue of multilateralism as a whole, unfortunately, which the decision of the U.S. not to attend this conference, of course, does not improve, does not arrange very much. But at the same time, going back to the specific case of Iraq, I really do believe that it has a lot to do with the fact that the Iraqis have not performed so far. Let me go back to 2007, when there was the first so-called international compact negotiated with the Iraqis. They did not deliver, and we know the rest of the story. Corruption, the return of authoritarianism under al-Maliki, all of this has contributed to the emergence and takeover of the Islamic State in 2014. So if there are not reforms, domestic reforms, external aid will not change much of Iraq's picture.
All right. Thank you very much indeed for your time and your analysis. Miriam Ben-Rad joining us there.